Radiant team ban.
Navi's turn to pick.
Radiant team pick.
Lena.
Navi's turn to pick.
Spectre.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Navi's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Navi's turn to ban.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
ESL 1 Germany, we're here in the upper bracket. And we're in the draft already, well into the draft actually. Here with Sind and Kyle. And Kyle, you ended your statement saying whoever picks IO gotta go for that one. And it is
Sind, you said it
didn't even get first picked.
Didn't get banned either. Huh.
It was that's first phase, third pick overall.
That's why I did my research for this series, Sind. You gotta go with the game.
There's nothing on that paper. That reminds me of...
There's plenty on that paper.
I've heard some stories about American politics with the same thing. You hold up a notepad, it's like, I know what I'm doing. And there's nothing on it.
It's very, I mean, that's a great point.
Remaining.
Better than when Bruno used to draw dicks on his notepads. There's nothing on it. That's better. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Yeah, a bit surprising to see, especially given the last series, how that went. Nice, good job. You wrote Sindlaw on it. Very imaginative, very creative. Okay, so...
Twitch chat's gonna like it.
Yeah, they love that shit. For some reason, for 5 years in a row.
You were bringing up the draft.
So yeah, so we do get the IO, which is to me is surprising given how both these teams love it so much and how high of an impact it had in the previous series, which you would imagine both teams watched. And a lot of the times you get inspired a little bit by what just happened between arguably two other formidable teams in this tournament, given the result that we just saw.
I'm just shocked because it's, as we talked, it's an irreplaceable hero, right? You ban out a Lifestealer and a Void, there's still going to be a Spectre and a Sven. They effectively accomplish sort of the same thing. There is no replacement for a Wisp, and Viking are a Wisp team.
Yeah.
I remember they were playing qualifiers from Mega League like 2 or 3 months ago. It was make or break. They had to win the series to qualify. They lost first game by first doing Wisp Gyro, and they just did it again the next game and won. And they picked Wisp again the next game. Like, this is what they believe in. It's their best strat. And in this setting, winner bracket, first game, this is where I'd want to be.
Yeah. So what did they choose to ban over the IO? It was the...
So they banned out on the side of Na'Vi, they ban out the Venge and the Void. Everybody bans out the Void.
Viking banned Doom, which is understandable.
Yes.
Against Na'Vi, it's their favorite hero.
It is, and they are very successful with it as well. So, and Lifestealer had to be banned as well because it's Lifestealer, and if you're, it's still very like Lifestealer and Void are kind of first phase ban material at the moment.
I suppose with Na'Vi banning Void, the Lifestealer ban gets that bit better because that's the hero you would like to pick into the Lifestealer a lot of the time. But yeah, surprising. I don't think this is what Viking expected, that letting Wisp through was going to lead to a first pick Lina, though, from Na'Vi. It's really something that they've started favoring lately, this Lina. They pick it more than other teams. They rate it higher. They flex it, I believe. They play it both 4 and 2. And then they grab their Phoenix. And now, third pick, trademark hero for General. I think this is his best hero in the game. He is amazing at Beastmaster.
And it is arguably the best hero to have on your team against a Wisp. You've got a BKB piercing lockdown. No matter the partner, you're going to be able to have an answer for it. But more importantly, you find the Wisp, and you're naturally trying to play a corner of the map. So your Beastmaster can play one area, kind of counteract that Wisp split push, and you just kill the Wisp or lock down the partner. And you also have the minion army so that you can apply tower pressure. Same reason we like Chen against Wisp. Beastmaster provides that same sort of tempo.
Did pick it into Rubik, though. It's a very telegraphed spell. It's really easy to steal. Stolen Roar is like a 5-second stun or something. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And obviously will be a great tool to have against the Lina, hero that hates getting stunned. And with Rubik with an Ether Lens, you have a very easy time reaching that stun.
Yeah. Want to see some beef, though, because these supports are real susceptible just getting ran at. And the SF's not exactly much of a bodyguard. That's
something that I think is one of the biggest strengths of Toby. He loves playing all of these tanky offlaners. Like, he will play Underlord, he will play Necrophos, he will play Batrider with a tanky build. I remember he had this phase in pubs, so this is anecdotal, right? He had this, 2 weeks, he would buy Greaves Pipe on everything. Literally everything. He would go offlane and buy these 2 items. Omni Knight, Abaddon, the heroes I just mentioned, the whole
Learn from the best. That was the step strat.
Literally just do it. Yeah, he would just buy all those items on every hero.
Quick question, observation. Why are you so much closer to Sheev's side of the desk than my side, Cindy?
I have told you about this. This was the first panel segment with the opening show.
I just noticed it. You're very far away.
Yeah. No regrets. I feel better over here. I feel safer. Yeah, that's... Okay, now I'll get closer.
I like being able to walk around. It's nice.
Yeah, I know.
Besides, you warned us that you like to pace.
That's true.
You haven't paced yet.
Well, I'm still trying to get my bearings, It's a big stage. I don't know how much space there is to really...
You like it more now?
What?
Yeah, I'm in the middle now.
It's about balance, We're trying to get a good shot.
Oh, you're really heavy, so that's why...
I'm trying to hide it with the sweater. I was watching CSGO a lot, I think out of this exact same studio, and I saw Machine always rocking these turtlenecks, these sweaters. I'm like, damn, that's a good look. I'm going to try that out. Unfortunately, I realized it looks so good because he's oozing with sex appeal. In my case... Elder Titan. No, nothing. I thought someone would throw me a bone. Okay.
No,
all right.
I was thinking about what you were oozing, and it's just nothing.
Possibly.
Oozing failure.
Let's talk about the draft, because otherwise, we don't want to make people cry. We got an Elder Titan, which we have seen a lot as core coming up for OG. That's actually how they went out, by the way. They went Elder Titan core twice. Not saying that was the problem, because I don't think it was. But
maybe it was, is what you're saying.
There's a correlation somewhere.
But not a causation, perhaps.
Not a causation, perhaps. We will see.
I love the Ember against it, although I think Core ET, I always liked Ember against support ET, because you just dive, and you have the best reach in game. Core ET, however, with the Ags, he just smacks you in the face twice, and you might explode.
Yeah. But that is if ET, because we saw on OG, we saw mid one play the ET. In this case, we're already going to see Shad play the Spectre. So is Toby going to be playing?
I think it's Toby Titan, yeah, probably. And he might not go for the Ags. Like I said, he might even go Auras, get something for the team. I'm a little bit concerned if he goes Ags that they're lacking this kind of cohesion where the team comes together and stays alive. It's like ET with Ags kind of plays for himself to an extent, where you're the carry in the fight. I don't know if that's going to fly with this support duo and Spectre. I think it's probably a little bit too weak. So would like to see that. I think Ember is great against Core ET as well. If you get hit 2 or 3 times, you can die, but you're an Ember. That's already a failure in the fight if you get melee 3 times.
This is one of the weaknesses of Rubik as well, where in concept it's like, oh, I can steal Roar. It's going to be great this game. The trouble is you are playing for yourself, and you're effectively only a spellcaster. You don't want to ever be jumped. You want to play the outskirts of the fight. The trouble is that's kind of what the entire lineup right now wants to do. They don't have a centerpiece, and in theory, it could be a core ET, but it takes a lot of items for that to come online, and you're still like oftentimes going for damage. You're not a tank.
I don't like ET for that reason. I also don't think it solves Phoenix at all. I think they have nothing against Phoenix right now. They have overcharge, but yeah, I would have loved something more straightforward, like you said, something that goes in and sets the stage for Spectre.
Because they're also
have a chance.
They're going to lose out on the vision game too. They're playing against a Beastmaster. There's going to be more wave shove coming out from the side of Na'Vi, so they're going to be able to pick and choose their engagements. Plus, they have better team fight, and you could argue better catch as well. Viking need that perfect last pick to pull things
So what
back.
works here? Like, I'm seeing Puck being an option, just something that catches so you can follow up with your Wombo ET plus Spectre. So Dream Call is very obvious. It's great against the PA with the Phantom Strike. It's great against Ember. Arguably pretty good against Phoenix too. You have a silence at least. So Puck could be a possibility. Quaswex Invoker is banned, so they can't pick that.
I think they need a safe liner here, yeah? Or is it...
I think we're needing a boom hero for Viking.
I don't think SF safe flame, right?
I mean, they're not putting ET in the mid. Is that what you think?
No, well, it's just more if it's SF mid. No, it is okay. It'll be SF safe lane or off lane. Storm?
What are you talking about in SF? There's no SF in this game.
Oh my god, that's a Spectre.
It's okay, Kyle. They look very similar.
I swear, this entire time.
You said it a couple times. I'm like, what are you talking about? But I don't want to, make my panelists look bad.
He can do it himself. We don't need to. We don't need to help.
So.
I like the draft more now.
Okay.
And I see that it's a Spectre. We saw this at TI8, used to great effect by OG. The stacking damage reduction is insane. The dispersion deals damage pre-reduction, and that stacks on top of the Wisp plus whatever other reductions they're going to get. Also very good against the Beastmaster lane, but I think they need the clock to tick a bit.
Do you think Storm solved what they needed here?
Storm Spectre, man. That is my favorite 1-2 punch in Dota 2.
Is that good with ET?
I'm not sure, but it's good together.
Okay.
We're going to find out
ET Believer. I know somebody who is, Sheaves.
I do know someone who is. ET Believer is Fog, and he'll always be an ET Believer. Let's see if he's right this time around. Let's go into game number 1 of Na'Vi versus Viking.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Time for Viking to go up against Na'Vi and Fog. Well, we are getting the ET. Are you excited to see it, or do you think Na'Vi's got some sort of hot stuff against it?
Well, that's two different questions. I'm excited to see it, but I do think that Na'Vi has some hot stuff against it. So it does not, to me, it does not really look like this clear, concise ET game that looks amazing. He's going to be decent for like these counter initiations, and I guess if he is going to go for these auras, it can work well. But I kind of like what Sin said at the end, very tail end, is ET good with Storm and Spectre? Because a lot of what ET gives to you for the table is your counter initiation, is your vision, which I feel like Storm and Spectre already get that. That's just their natural innate tool. You're gonna get that, that vision from how Storm's gonna jump. So let's see if he can, because at least Storm does benefit from the aura a lot there, but we'll see if it is what works all together, because it's versus a really good draft. I think it's a pretty strong draft versus that ET.
Yeah, I mean, what sort of components of Na'Vi's lineup makes you say that? Like, well, what is it that's so strong about their lineup here?
Well, they don't have great like Stomp. I think they have a lot of heroes that can just play around it. Your Ember, your Phoenix, your PA. Like, I think these heroes, they can play around because they're very elusive. You're not going to really get hit by Stomp so much in the game, and you can't actually hit these heroes. I feel like Phoenix is one of the best heroes in the game versus ET, versus Tiny as well, versus any of these similar heroes that just don't hit the egg.
Oh, that is true. Because I feel like we've seen Phoenixes even have a good time when there is things that hit the egg. This game, there's nothing, right? There's
just
nothing
overcharge. Yeah, it's like the tethered overcharge target is decent, but even then, it's like it looks like it's going to be a bit lackluster. I love what Na'Vi's actually got. I think their draft is very well rounded. It's got good stun, it's got good push. It literally ticks off like every single thing that you'd want it to, except maybe slight weakness in the mid lane is the one thing where Iceberg, I feel like he can get taken advantage of because Boom is playing Storm.
I mean, because when would you sort of see Vikings lineup having its strength. I mean, as you say, you obviously prefer Na'Vi's. You probably feel that most parts of the game's Na'Vi's is better. But in the eyes of Viking, what are they looking towards with this lineup? Like, what is their plan, do you think?
I mean, if they're able to just sit back and if they're able to just ever get any downtime of farm for Spectre and Storm, we've seen these heroes just dominate. You know, you just win because you just always get the initiation jump, and you win because you start the fight and it's 4v5 because somebody just dies immediately from Storm, and then chaos happens because it's a Spectre.
Sure, but I feel like, I mean, I agree with you that there's the thing is Na'Vi's going to have things against that, right? If this does get really late, even just sort of the two heroes in itself between the PA and the Beastmaster, right? You have a BKB piercing disable, and you have an incredible amount of physical damage to go through that BKB. Yeah,
and you have Phoenix, the hardest scaling support hero in the game, as people like to say it. So, like I said, I really like what Na'Vi's got to the table. Can they execute it? Because Viking, they've got a strong draft around it with their 4 heroes. I'm still, like I said, waiting to see how the ET fits into everything. And they've been really good with Aramis when he's been playing the Rubik. He's been super dominant.
Yeah, I mean, they've been really good across the board. You know, we've got to remember the last series that Viking played, which was against Alliance, right? Both those games were very one-sided. Viking, they smashed Alliance 2-0 coming into this series.
Yeah. I want to see how they can do it, because I look at their draft and it feels very passive to me, is the biggest concern. The Storm and the Spectre, if they can get, you know, their ults kicking off and, you know, they start getting these pickoffs, it's all cool and dandy, but in between those ultimates, I'm a little concerned of how they make moves, especially into Na'Vi's draft, which with Hawk and with all these vision aspects, it does feel like it's just good against what Viking has. So we'll see after these lanes. Is Iceberg, like I said, I'm going to be watching him, especially in this mid lane, see how he does in this matchup, because this looks like the harder lane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in these side lanes, where would you consider the biggest kill potential be early on? I mean, can this top lane ET Rubik do much in terms of getting kills, or you think that's just not really going to happen against these heroes?
They can definitely get kills, especially if Always Wanna Fly gets out of position, or VTune does. I want to see VTune get his passive at level 3, though.
Yeah.
I think I've seen this actually a lot of times versus ET lanes, is you get this, and then the ET harassment or any of these physical right-clicking cores, you just can't hit him back. You never win the trade.
And then I guess sort of down on the bottom side of things, Na'Vi's lineup, General and Roger with this Lina Beastmaster. Celery's got to be careful, right? Like, this IO could get taken out by these heroes.
Once the levels start to kick in down here, the Beastmaster and Lina gets real strong. When you have your level 2 boar, you have 2 of them going, that's the big strength of Na'Vi down here. But Viking, I mean, we've seen this IO do so well, especially paired with Spectre. Just overcharge in combination with a dispersion. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of actually stopping Shab from being able to CS, it's going to be hard. He's a little bit behind here, but I guess he's got the creep wave coming in, so not too far behind. The mid lane, where we are seeing Boom having
He'll come out ahead.
Yeah, about a full waves advantage against Iceberg right now in the Storm versus Ember.
Yeah, just that one's just nature of the matchup. The Storms tend to come out decently ahead in that. Bottom. Or, sorry, I said bottom. I meant top. I'm so sorry, observers.
Just trying to throw JJ off.
Just throwing JJ off a little bit.
Bottom, top, mid, jungle. JJ.
Aramis has to be careful up here. I think these lanes look pretty good for Na'Vi. I'm actually liking, except for that mid lane. Toby, and this is the other thing too. Like, you're playing versus Phoenix, so you walk up to try to hit.
Yeah, you can't hit.
You get spirited. You can't hit. He didn't get the point in the blur, which I'm a little disappointed to see, but...
Well, I mean, doesn't need it. The ET can't hit. Off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As long as, if he trusts Always Wanna Fly to hit the fire spirits, yeah, Vichin doesn't care.
Look at the Celery actually TPing to mid to try to help Boom get the rune. And it'll spawn top.
Boom's going to be very happy with that. So already having a good time in the lane, and now a haste rune. He's going to try for Iceberg. Straight in under the tower, they're going with the Vortex. He's got the change to verify Iceberg. He's not going to live, though.
They get him.
And now Roger. They might be able to get the 2 of them. Roger is getting very low, but they won't dive the tower. So they're starting to take tower hits, and Boom already using all his bottle charges, so Roger will live, but a very nice haste rune to be found. So Boom's lane going from good to great with that kill.
Overcharge is such an insane ability. Honestly, 80 attack speed is just absurd this early on. You see the Storm just like popping off because of it.
Yeah, especially on a Storm, right?
Yeah. Shad bottom gets slowed down a tiny bit because of those boars when Celery does leave him, but I mean, it's these Spectres. We see them do just fine, especially because Roger was landing away. Wait, what happened?
That should help. Stupendous.
What happened mid? Am I blind?
Wait, what do you mean what happened mid?
Why is Ice Ping?
Small reward.
Did I miss-see something?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I mean,
he must have... I think he must have just TP'd and cancelled it after he spawned or something, right?
I'm not sure.
No, 80 seconds. No. Yeah.
He walked from base. I think he TP'd and cancelled it.
No, but the time it would have taken him longer. No, I think I think he probably did TP out and then accidentally cancel it or something.
I don't know. I must have missed something.
Either way, he messed up.
He messed up something because he came out really late to the lane. Boom is almost like level 6.5 now. I must have seen something wrong.
No. I mean, I think the only explanation is Iceberg did mess up. He must have used his TP and cancelled it.
Wow, because
he was walking back to lane. He was absolutely walking back to lane. So. Yeah, more fortune for Boom. Storm getting a very nice start. See if he gets lucky with the runes.
More fortune for all of Viking is. I feel like him in particular, he has to be the one who has this good start to make space, especially for that Spectre. I feel like we'll start getting slowed down from Navi's lineup, so I feel like that's really important for them to get this head start on him. And yeah, Iceberg, he's gonna have to work to recover. So maybe this is the thing that hurts Navi from actually being able to do those aggressive moves early on.
No, he's having to sort of head back to sort of stick away from the lane a little bit. I mean, he knows that Boom +1 in this mid can definitely threaten him before he hits the 6. He's got it now.
He's got it now.
Can play safe with Remnants.
Yep, he's always got the 1 point as well too in Searing Chain, so he can play around it. Boom, though, he's going to threaten him every single time he walks up now here because of this advantage that he has. So Iceberg might just have to resort to jungling.
Bottom, Shad is getting gone on. Celery's going to come in with the tether. Shad, he's going to go down. Boom will come in with the counterplay. Zipping onto Roger. He's got a little bit more mana to close the gap. Coming with the vortex. Roger is able to hold his ground, get the life striker out. Roger's going to live, and Iceberg, he's made the reaction plays. Come in, and he's got a DD, so he's able to take down another. You know, the two of them going down. General picking up the double kill thanks to it all. He was already having a very nice time down in the bottom lane, and 2 kills for him as well now.
A really interesting item build too from General. I didn't really touch on it because I've never really seen that build. Top. Always want to fly.
What? He's juking. Toby's trying to find. He's going to go for the TP out. Toby got the damage. 1. Oh, wasn't enough.
Radiant's
always want to fly, able to play out from the trees.
Radiant structures.
What do I actually see? Okay, so interesting item build, I guess, from General. Is he going like armlet or something? All right, well, okay, he's just going treads, and then he has this casual mask gloves of haste. Okay,
casual gloves.
I don't know. He's just like I said, he went double bracer, which you usually don't see these Beastmasters do either. They usually just rush the necro books, but this game, it's going something completely different.
Well, maybe he's not going to go phase treads. I feel like we do sometimes see some of these players try the old double boots thing because they think it's good.
I haven't seen that in a very long time, I'll be honest with you.
I swear I saw someone do it the other day. Really? Maybe not the other day, maybe like the other month. Maybe the other year.
Other year, maybe. Yeah. I don't think he'll go, whatever.
I remember the days of... I remember back on the old Na'Vi, wasn't it? Do you remember when Crystallize? Was it Crystallize? He did like the triple treads on Terrorblade. Or maybe it wasn't triple, maybe it was only double.
Good God, that sounds so bad. Maybe it was like a bugged phase of
No, I remember it specifically. It was a tournament... I remember we were in Russia, and I can't remember what the tournament was, but yeah, he went like... It was at least double treads. Maybe it wasn't triple treads. There was at least double treads in Terrorblade.
So I'm seeing General, either way, he's having a great start to the game. It's not going to be this book, though, so I feel like that'll hurt him a little bit in just him pushing towers, which I thought that's what they were going to really focus on because of the Beastmaster pick, but it's going to make him individually a lot stronger of just fighting. And I'm seeing they're slowing down the Spectre, but PA's not getting slowed down. He's feeling a little bit of a better start here. Let's see when it really all does start to kick off here.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, though, what Viking are kind of cool with it not kicking off.
Yeah, I think they want to be playing more of this passive style. They can react to TPs always with the Storm, but I feel like Navi's going to start punching pretty hard. Their heroes are... I feel like they're really strong to start really pressing the issue forward. And Vikings, like we said, I feel like there's a lot more greedy. Like this is really the window where Navi can start to take advantage. General is hanging around down bottom. He has a double mango, so they have the roar available. And Iceberg's going to start forcing the wave. So boom, he'll react toward top.
He's going to go straight in with the zip. Catches always want to fly by the rune and takes him out, securing that bounty for himself. So boom, continuing to use this good start. Nice and aggressively on the side lanes, not letting any sort of kills be passed away.
They gotta hit some towers though, because that's the thing about when you're playing versus Beastmaster. You leave your bottom lane, tower dies almost instantly. So they do get a good kill, but can they hit this tower and start to actually bring it down? It's gonna take them quite a while. They have the catapult wave at least, but
and they do have the overcharged Elder Titan here punching it.
Okay. And he is gonna just go for straight Aghanims this game. Okay. It changes your game, just like Synderen says, it changes the game a lot when you're playing with Aghanims for yourself. You're playing more about you're running in and hitting targets rather than playing on this defensive of counter-initiating. But they're going to get the tower. And Na'Vi not going to look to make any move. They're just going to look to farm and maximize out of it.
Yeah, General's just continuing to keep a lot of pressure down. I think he's got the medallion coming out.
Okay, and Roger will pull the lane back and farm a camp as well too, so keep himself relevant in the farm. We did see Roger the other day on the Lina, in particular, pop off. If you remember, he had an MKB late game as top. Toby.
Straight with the CP out as soon as they jump in. I mean, do you think, like at the moment for Viking, are they fine because Na'Vi isn't doing enough, or do you think Viking need to be a little aware of like some of these heroes? Like, is there anyone that they need to try and make a move on, you know, with heroes other than the Spectre while Shad does continue to farm?
I think it's just kind of hard. They have to move as this three-man unit to look for any plays. It's under a Hawk immediately, though, so General looking to actually break it.
He might still be in trouble there, General.
He's still staying in the area. Roger is near.
He's just accepting his fate here. General, he knows he can't get out.
Huh. They saw the smoke, too. They have the Hawk right in the mid lane that saw it all coming. But they just eat the gank anyway.
Yeah, they're going to get both of them because of that.
What did you...
Na'Vi just know what they definitely saw it, you say?
The Hawk was there. Look, it's still there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess.
It looked like he caught the edge of the smoke right on the side of it there, but maybe it actually didn't catch it. I thought it did when I was looking.
Maybe it was just on the outside.
Maybe just on the edge of it, because they stayed, like, they looked...
I mean, yeah, he committed. General's like, I'm going to farm this camp. I do not care. And he did. And they both died, so...
And that's, Viking. I mean, this is big for Viking, because they didn't have to use their haunts or like majority of that storm mana pool to really look for that kill, so they're fine. Na'Vi looks like they're just going to play a little bit more of that farm game. That's Iceberg. He's queuing up the Deso. So okay. A little more of a greedy stance, not really that playmaking.
Yeah, I mean, well, down bottom, boom. He might just go and find another here. Roger, again, taken out. This is going to do very well for Boom's Orchid Fund. This is going to be a quick Orchid on the Storm. And yeah, it's an interesting decision. So, as you said, the Iceberg but getting the Deso, you have a PA on your team. Yeah. So that obviously means, I mean, Vichin, he's not going to get the Deso, right? Of course. No. You're absolutely not going to get 2 Desos. So it means Vichin can go for other items. But it does also mean that Vichin won't have the Deso. And it kind of does. Most of the time, you kind of want to play with a Deso, don't you, if you're PA?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels weird. I don't know why he's going to be going for the Deso, really, on the Ember. It doesn't make sense to me with their draft. Yeah. When they have PA, it really just does not make sense. But
yeah, I mean, I guess obviously the benefit of Iceberg getting is you're gonna have the Deso a lot quicker.
Everyone, yeah, I mean, and
you're gonna have a lot quicker than going for the Battle Fury and the Deso, obviously on the PA.
Okay, I mean, we'll see if he does opt to finish down, because it definitely just feels weird if he's gonna go.
Always want to fly. He's dead. He's dead. There's a splitter out, and he's gone.
And now Boom is making the move bottom. He has full mana.
Let's see what he can zip on here.
He's got the Sentry.
And talk to me about this as well. So General going for this Medallion into Glimmercape build as opposed to sort of your regular, quick Necro Books and Vlads. Oh, it's actually on the mid lane. Boom. It's going to be TP reactions, so they won't.
Hit the reload. Celery got baited.
He did. He thought they were going. I mean, they were until they weren't. Oh no, Celery getting baited by his team. Dead IO.
To answer the book, I'm totally honest. I don't know why he's not getting book, especially with the start he had. I felt like he could have just slammed. I felt like he could have just slammed through the whole game. Every single one of their heroes gets owned. You dispel Astral off of ET, like before he has Ags too most of the time. The mana burn is nice. I don't know. I mean, he's looking to do the super buff, like the buffs to buff up the PA, but I mean, book has a lot of merit. Unless people just stop buying book for a reason, and I don't know. But I saw it built the other day, and it looked pretty damn good, too. Because now we have this game where we're just playing a little bit more of the farming passive game, and this is benefiting Viking. Yeah, this is amazing for Viking.
He's getting so many kills in this early game. 4-1 and 2. With that Orchid reveal as he gets the catch on to always want to fly. This Storm is off to a very good time. And Shad's loving it. You know, he's farming away.
And Iceberg completely switched his build. He's just got a casual Mithril Hammer, and he's getting Yules now. I'm so confused.
I mean, yeah, but V-Tune, he is going to get the Death Zone. I mean, as you would expect.
As you would expect. But why did Iceberg buy the Mithril? Especially into Storm Spirit. Like,
you need that Yules.
I'm a little confused, I'll be honest. As I feel like Navi's just playing into Vikings' hands. They're not being active at all, and you're playing into Storm and Spectre. Well, like, sure, you have this great scaling, but I guess maybe they just really want to play the farm game rather than make plays.
Okay. I mean, as I said, you know, we've all seen PA, late game, crits, you kill anyone, Spectre, whatever. I mean, maybe less so whatever, it is a Spectre. Spectre is actually kind of scary.
I guess. I mean, there's always this. The thing is, there's always like the IO factor and everything too, and the ET that the aura is going to be huge. And I mean, Toby hasn't gotten ganked really at all. 2-0-1, he's got Aghanims.
Yep.
On the ET already. I mean, this downtime has just been phenomenal for Viking. Even though it still shows like less than 1k gold for Na'Vi, which might feel good. I feel like with their heroes, they want it to be doing stuff. Like you're playing with Storm and Spectre, you don't want to just sit back casually. Even if you have PA and Phoenix, like these king of late games. The rest of your lineup is going to be very fragile just to a haunt.
And it definitely does feel a bit awkward. Weird. The Mithril Hammer into Yule Scepter build from Iceberg.
Yeah, I mean, General's got a phenomenal timing. He's solo crest already gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So the PA is going to be huge when she turns up. But yeah, I mean, it's an Ags ET. Toby's been given all the space in the world. Now he's king now. He's going to have this, and then into Phoenix, you know, we were talking about how the Phoenix is good versus ET. He has such a fast Aghanims, like literally 10 minutes faster than you'd probably expect it, that now he can hit Ag probably. You're not going to get Fire Spirited slowed if you have the buff on you.
I mean, top, we're going to have the smoke. They're going to see if they can catch Shad. There we go. Axe is out to spot him. They got the raw. Shad. He's not getting out of this.
The long jump, though.
Boom is going to come in with a counterplay, and Toby's going to be brought over by Celery. They're running in onto V-Tune. On the side, telekinesis to Roger. General and V-Tune trying to split, but the splitter from Toby's coming out. Won't catch V-Tune, but the Stomp does. So they can move in on this. Boom.
They got reload out, though.
I'm over here.
Yeah, it's just the two of them left. And now, Toby and Boom, they're trying to run. Boom. He's going to have the heals for Celery. Actually trying to hold his ground, but the light strikes out. So is the correct V-Tune. He's going to clean up a few more here, Celery. He's also dead as well.
Strike.
Okay, seems like the passive game worked really well for Na'Vi as Vikings just went in, tried to help out their Spectre, tried to bail him out, and get just completely outplayed in the fight. They showed up in a real way, in a weird way to respond too. Like Boom zips across the whole map. Toby doesn't have Astral Spirit ready, and Na'Vi's all just prepared there. Disaster for Viking.
And now V-Tune, he's going to be hitting some very quick timings. You know, those three kills that he's been involved in so far. This PA is gonna get to a point where, I mean, already we're just seeing the potential against these heroes. Any sort of stun on Boom and a couple of crits will take him out of the action.
Yeah, I mean, it really does feel like, I guess the passive game for Na'Vi is just, it works out like that.
Yeah, it's paying off so far. I mean, levels are great as well after that. For V-Tune, he's level 15. Closest on Viking is level 12. So this PA 3 levels ahead of anyone in the game. Yeah, on Viking side.
It's really huge because that was Vikings' time to show up and win the fight, right? I think that was Mech on IO, Ags ET. They had like some immense timing, but they got caught and reacted poorly. Now Na'Vi, they have, I mean, big lead here for V-Tune, level 16, and almost a BKB if he wants to show up to the next fight with a BKB, which is really good versus Viking. So
V-Tune. Let's see what he can find here. Easy D Ward. The lift up onto Iceberg. They're going to try and go for this. They're going with the Horde. Looking to commit straight away onto Iceberg. He's able to get the Yules off and live. Supernova on the high ground. Shad, he's trying to take it down. Can he do so? He can. He's able to take down the egg in time. Roger, getting low. Quick sit back from Boom as he hasn't got further mana to move in. But they take down the egg. Viking can push on for the tier 1 tower.
Dire's middle tower.
We'll get it here. So this time, the poke working out as they jump. Iceberg and force a fight.
Shad's very close to his Manta now too. That'll be very big for him to protect himself versus Iceberg in particular. And also give them that Roche threat constantly. That's always the big thing about the Spectre Manta.
So this PA is just so massive right now.
Massive, yeah.
Got extra Yules as well done on Lina, so 2 Yules now to play with Na'Vi.
And going back to like early, like we did like Navi's team fight. Yeah, Navi's draft overall did feel very strong. So it's like it's still now it's getting back to that. Is Viking, can they, even though they had all that time to farm and they tried to make that move, Navi's draft is very strong when it's all coming together anyway. Well, there was a lot of like just sitting back. It felt like, but there's a strong draft anyway.
Yeah, like you like the draft, you just didn't expect Na'Vi to sort of play it in the way that they are, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I thought they'd be a little bit more, you know, pressing the issue forward on these towers, in particular with a Beastmaster. You know, they only hit the 1 tower bottom, didn't even go near mid. They've been just playing a lot more of the passive game.
Yeah, I guess they believe in V-Tune, and
I guess that's the way to do.
There's no reason to doubt them on that. He's that far ahead of Shad still, 3k ahead of the Spectre.
He is massive.
Battle Fury BKB Deso, it's pretty much all complete. It's going to be out in a couple of minutes, that completed Desolator. This is some of the fastest timings we've seen on a PA hit.
And I guess then we're going to see how Vikings draft really does kick in together versus all of Na'Vi, because Navi's going to hit this humongous timing. They're going to force a fight around Roche, and Viking, you know, their draft, like we said, it's a bit tough to actually take those fights with their Tricore, with Storm, with Spectre, and with ET as their frontliner. And as we said, you know, the ET with this build, it's played very differently. Now I feel like for Na'Vi, now it's fine to sit back and farm and finish this next item. When they have Deso, though, that's when you press again.
This PA, honestly, we keep saying it, but honestly, it's so huge.
Yeah, maybe it is so huge.
Like 22 minutes, Battle Fury, BKB, Deso. That's pretty unheard of. And level 18, you know what I mean? And he's level 18.
It could really be like
insane.
It could really be V-Tune like in the team, or somebody in the team just being like, "Hey guys, we win this game if I just farm." So I mean, that could just be it. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, he is.
Are scanning.
All right.
He's gonna kill everybody. He's gonna kill everybody. They're gonna go for Rush.
Can they react? They have ET, one of the best heroes around the pit.
They're doing it quick though with this solar. Look at this.
They really are.
It is just destroyed. They are going to scout it out. Stomp to set things up.
Iceberg's just in.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's just going to jump in onto Aramis, committing with the BKB, starting to play around with the 2 supports. The Horde comes out. Shad's going to look for the backlines, jumps out of there. They get themselves on top of always want to take out the Phoenix, but the Raw's there onto Aramis. Both him and Celery so low. The crits come in. V-Tune's able to take him out. Buybacks come back from the 2 supports. Hot Viking jump over to the side. They're looking to take out Toby, but Toby's going to be saved by Celery. Comes in with the tether. Toby's going to be fine. V-Tune, though, the crits. They just continue to fly through as the storm goes down. It's going to be a third buyback from Viking. They're throwing everything into this team fight. V-Tune with the remainder of his BKB. He's going to TP out. Give some respect here. He did actually TP all the way back to the base, which has left the rest of Na'Vi a little exposed. As now always when a fight goes down a second time, General's going to fall. I mean, I get it. He was scared of the buyback from Viking, but he was still full HP, full mana, and he had a couple of seconds left on the BKB. Did he really need to TP all the way back to base?
They're going to get the rush out of it now, though, with those 3 buybacks.
Well, V-Tune is going to look at them, and that's it. But yeah, why this sort of the panic move there from V-Tune? Did he need to panic that hard?
I guess he felt like, I mean, he was very cut off from his team, but
he's got a blink strike.
So far back.
He had BKB for like a few more seconds. He was first use incredibly long.
It did feel just a little bit too, afraid.
Yeah, I mean, he's super panicked.
Something like the storm buyback full out spooked him. He immediately just disengaged, but that got his whole team killed.
It absolutely did, and it lost them the Roche. He TP'd back to base. We'll see it here again on the replay. I mean, all in all, this beginning looks phenomenal for Na'Vi. They're fighting. 3 buybacks coming out from Viking. I mean, Vichu's so strong. I don't know why he's that scared. He's that big right now in the PA. But yeah, deciding to vacate. And as you said, what was it? As soon as sort of the storm was back in,
he just left.
He just ditched. He was like, "See ya."
His teammates, yeah, really.
My job is done. I got a triple kill. And then he left them.
Yeah,
and now Viking's got the Aegis. On Storm of all heroes as well, of course.
Oh, Shad, though. Oh, he's completely isolated.
He's going to have some backup coming in. I can't save him in time.
Not celebrate.
Oh, he's going to... I don't know what he's going to do.
He's going to watch it burn. So Na'Vi, they still punch back hard.
I mean, but yeah, Vichu's still massive, you know.
He is still massive.
He's still huge. Maybe just a bit of mercy, that's what it was. He was like, hey, I'm going to win this game anyway, I don't care.
Maybe. They also made some pretty, interesting, I guess you could say, some bad targeting inside of the fight, too. They have to be careful. Like, when his spirit's coming back in, they tried to jump him in the middle of that fight, and he had a 5-man spirit got onto him. So he had all the plus armor and the BKB effect on him, plus a tether that came in, too, to heal him. So just some... And Na'Vi just needs to watch their target priorities, but yeah, up at 6k gold lead and now killing the Spectre, and boom!
He just zipped into the whole squad!
Staging a comeback!
And do they have chain slap up for him afterwards? They're gonna hold up to chaos.
Vichu's around. Shad is going to jump over towards Roger. Boom. He's going to zip in aggressively to take out Always Want to Fly. Also able to get the pullback onto General Vichu. Now going in over towards Boom, but Boom's able to dodge it out. Slide to the side. Shad stepping away. Vichu committing with the BKB, despite the rest of his team dead. Now this time around, the BKB TP makes a lot more sense. He's able to use that BKB to get back to safety. But another fight where Viking they're able to punch into Na'Vi. And they're getting the kills.
Great haunt from Shad. It just causes chaos in the fight. Because otherwise, Boom, very likely to just get stunned out of the Aegis and die. So they just force the fight.
Yeah, Viking still coming in with these solid team fights, despite the strength that Na'Vi do have behind Vichu's PA.
Yep.
Dire's bottom tower.
They did commit a lot up top right before that fight, right? To kill the IO. They had committed the egg as well as the Laguna earlier. So the fight was very awkward for Na'Vi to take naturally. Level 18 Storm, level 18 Spectre, they're both getting online here. V2 still at massive.
Dire's bottom
Have they got any more smokes on Na'Vi? What sort of moves are we going to see?
They've got their egg and everything available now too. I think they should look for some type of play. Everything from Viking is down at the moment, so... Don't think they have a smoke though. Doesn't look like it.
Bloodstone done on Boom.
He's farming.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
V2 the one leading the charge. They don't have a smoke, it looks like, but they're going to just use the blur and a hawk to give them the information.
It was seen,
V2's going to be able to look.
They're aware it's coming in underneath that ward in the river. Still, Aramis might be the one to die here.
He's got a remnant down.
Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. And he's got a glimmer. Yeah, he should be able to dodge any sort of search. And indeed he will. V2 won't find him. Viking doing a good job of keeping themselves away from the PA.
Trying to buy themselves time to have that haunt again. 25 seconds. Na'Vi trying to get the mid tower slowly with the boar. The solar crested boar, but it gets denied. And up top.
Oh, they did find him. Aramis. Oh, what? Did I get? Well, okay, he's still with them.
And he's gone.
Oh, baby, the old one shot from V-Tune. I guess, did he sort of panic there, Aramis? It was like he forgot that he already had a remnant out. He could have just remnanted back to the previous one, right? Or I don't know. Maybe we found him anyway.
Not sure. I mean, his remnant was so far back, but I think they'd already scouted and cut all the trees or something. I'm not sure. I think he would have just... I think he tried... I think he big brained it and big brained himself instead of just getting away. I feel like that happens a lot of times.
Well, another kill for V2. And we'll be able to finish off this top tier one. There'll be no defense from Viking up here, still trying to make sure Shad's got spaces to farm in. And he's about half the way in on the Scardy. V2, yeah, he's very close to having the
Radiant's
the Abyssal
top
complete
tower
if he wants to get that done.
Yeah, he's got a really good game ahead of him too, with all these buff ups that everyone's building. Vlad's on general soon, plus that solar, just everything to enable VTune. Viking ults are at the ready again. They're also going for their, solar crests and everything as well on the ET to buff up their Spectre. Hawk is out. Aramis actually nukes the Hawk down.
Stupendous.
So that tells them that they're smoked in this area. Still going to go for the rune, though.
Strainons always want to fly. They pop the horn too. Shad's going to be able to move in. They take out always want to fly. And they've got the TP cancel on Roger. Straight telekinesis and Viking making quick moves with the horn. Shad.
They're looking for general, too. The reload's in.
Boom. He's going to get roared underneath the tower, but General taking big hits. Iceberg's able to come in with the chain. He's able to hold him down, and Shad, he's in trouble now as well. V-Tune's turned up, and V-Tune hits hard if he's ready to jump in, and he is. Looking towards Shad. Shad able to get up to the high ground with the dagger. Iceberg still continuing to chase. Toby turns towards V-Tune, but the crits are there. They take him out. Iceberg trying to hold them with the clumsy net. He's going to have to change back up in a second as he's in again. A change onto Celery. V-Tune, he's farming the creeps though. Doesn't want to jump on these two. He's a little scared of the Spectre and the IO, so they won't chase.
I know V-Tune is literally just showing up and winning the game, it seems like, by himself. As he shows up and kills them as they overcommit. And the way that they showed was really weird for Na'Vi. They saw their Hawk killed by a Fade Bolt, and then they both showed in the river to grab the runes. You have to know you're going to get jumped on, Na'Vi.
Is under attack.
Not sticking together, just getting picked off a lot here by Viking. I got quite a few mistakes getting punished here, but V-Tune, he's keeping himself cool.
I mean, he's still just keeping ahead of everybody. Abyssal is done. Aghanim's complete now for Iceberg. So much easier for him to dart to the back lines, get on top of these supports that we've seen are struggling a little bit to deal with him. And they'll try and hit them with the smoke, Na'Vi.
Feels like he's just a lot of catch and control for V-Tune to just do his job and carry and kill everybody.
There's Roche.
Viking now. 30 seconds, no haunts. You see Na'Vi looking to try to catch anything here. Very good at picking anybody off here when they have Roar, and now the new Abyssal Blade on V-Tune.
Yeah, anybody they jump will die, I think. Even with the Tether Sword coming in.
Yep.
It's going to be far too much damage from this P8.
Shad, he's going to be the one to walk out. But they're going to throw everything onto him, though.
Nah, Vichu's going to look for the squishies. Gets the Rubik first. Straight away, buyback will come into play. Boom. He's going to look for it. Want to fly, but he's been used up. Roger, he's got the stun combo into the Roar Laguna Blade, but there's Celery coming in with the tether, coming in with the heals. It's not enough, though. Vichu turns over towards him, takes him out. Boom, dead for 70. Celery also gone out of the game, and they're going to continue to chase right up to the base. They're looking for Toby. The bash comes in from Vichu. It's a triple kill for him. He's over to Arrow. It's a triple kill for Vichu. Chad gonna pop the horn, try and move in. They are backing away in Na'Vi. Even it's just the two of them, they're not gonna push their luck any further.
Aramis dies, buys back, dies again, and now we have a level 25 PA who is already pretty much one-shotting people. And now, I mean, you know what?
Yeah,
we're really seeing why Na'Vi wasn't getting aggressive in the early game.
They just believed in this PA. They're like,
they believed in the draft and the PA.
Yeah, he's going to carry it, and he really is. In a surprisingly safer way than you would maybe imagine or expect from Na'Vi. You know, seeing a lot of sort of reserved. Well, let's not chase any further. Let's only kill when we need to. And it's absolutely working. Yeah, Vichu 1203 hasn't died this game. And he's just consistently held himself about 5k ahead of Shad in all regards when it comes to farm. This PA is massive.
Yep, and Roche respawns. It's scouted by the Phoenix Courier. V-Tune first is going to clear up a creep wave, but then they can look to back up and take it, because Haunt was used at the end of the fight. As we know, Shad did pop it, so they can't take this next fight either.
Radiant's top tower is under
There we go. In for the Roche. And this will be a free Aegis and cheese for Na'Vi. Now with that, I mean, they definitely are kitted up to try and push for the finishing blow. There's no question about it.
Radiant's top
Actually, we'll have V-Tune taking the cheese and Iceberg taking the Aegis.
Nah, it doesn't feel like V-Tune's dying anyway. No way they can kill him in a single disable. No. So he will always get that cheese off.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
Tier 2's down, Na'Vi.
Yeah, and I'm really not feeling the effectiveness of this ET as we talked about from early on. You know, Toby, he got this early Ags, but really doesn't feel like it's changed much of anything in the game. As Navi's they've played cool as a cucumber in this game.
See, General, just any chance that he finds Boom. Boom hasn't got a TP for 20 seconds. Just the odds that he checks in the trees are pretty low, though, so Boom should be fine.
This should make my life easier.
Oh, that's pretty big, though. You see that?
They killed the courier with the full Scotty.
That was
with the point boost.
Yeah,
least,
but that's no Scotty for 3 minutes.
Oh,
yeah, that's quite the postponing of an item that Shab would have otherwise had done. I mean,
and he needs any item really. It seems like at this point, any type of extra HP and ways to stick on targets, especially.
Yeah, that's a further big hit here to Viking. Been without that Scotty for 3 extra minutes. And Na'Vi, 18k ahead. Satanic done on B2.
Oh, got it.
I mean, he's not dying. He is not dying.
He's not dying.
He is not dying. We've had games where you can look at a carry and say this guy's not going to die. I think we can look at Vici and say he's not going to die.
No. I'm just looking at all these little daggers. Coup de grace, 15 damage on laying on the ground over here. You know, I think that's probably going to be the story of everything. You see these little ones sticking out? Yeah, look at them. Those are where he killed people. Those will continue.
Viking, they tried to come out with that smoke, but nothing to be found down here.
Do we have any reveal on the side of Na'Vi? Because that's the other thing that I was, why I also like having Book 3 a lot of the times is detection can sometimes start to be problems, glimmers, etc. They'll have some dusts, but yeah, I'm just curious to see, general, why he did this build. It's really cool. It's working.
It's absolutely been working. It's just sort of a different approach from Na'Vi with their lineup, and it's absolutely working. This way of playing the game has been very robust. Just a carry never dying. I mean, even Iceberg, he's only died the once this game.
That's actually pretty huge. That's a pretty massive comeback for Iceberg after laning phase being such a disaster, and I believe he canceled that TP earlier. So yeah, everything has recovered for sure.
Danny went Mithril Hammer into Yules, which was a bit of an awkward sort of slowing down of the Yules scepter. It didn't matter. He literally didn't die again after that one blunder in the mid lane. So very solid recovery.
And really just overall, from the start, like we did say, Navi's drafted. Yeah. It felt really, really strong versus what they were up against. And even though Viking, they had some explosive times, this is what we're really seeing, the nitty gritty of it all in the last 15 minutes or so.
There we go.
Now it's just feeling so hard for them to ever look for any fights. And like you said, getting back into the zone. 2 minutes until that Scotty for Shad. Shad will come back up. And yeah, Na'Vi can just keep them all kind of trapped in their base here now at this point here. With Hawk, makes it so hard to play. They're set up around bottom though, Iceberg. He's inching forward for the wave.
Oh!
The trap is set.
They don't really want to jump for him though. I guess they expect that maybe, and he does have the Aegis, of course. So, and Aris is going to start.
Aris is thinking about it.
Yeah, they're going to start walking towards him now. I think now they realize there isn't anyone else behind it. So get on the one.
Almost. He's almost able to get out.
Boom. He's going to be able to get away to the side there. Aramis saving him with the Glimmer. Okay, but the chains are in. And Boom won't make it out despite Aramis's best attempts to save him with the Glimmer. Na'Vi getting
chasing for more. Iceberg. Looking for more revenge. They got what they came for.
Oh, Celery. I'll get him as well. He's also there on the return. Some more kills for V-Tune. 13-0-4. And now down the bottom lane they go. 20k lead Na'Vi. This one looking to quite the tough game for Viking to turn, even though it's getting to the later stages and they do have Shad Spectre. I mean, Shad Spectre is not necessarily poor. It's just that he's a hell of a lot poorer than this PA. As V-Tune nearly 10k ahead of Shad.
He just doesn't have a lot with him either on Shad. Like, the IO is going to tether to himself. He's going to tether to the Spectre to give him some type of regen and stuff like that, but Aramis and Toby have been very quiet this game. Aramis not getting any big steals. Toby unable to get too much either.
I mean, it looks like they're unable to do anything about these buildings going down.
Yep.
He's Viking just watching as Na'Vi Push in, they'll have Boom back up in a few seconds, but not before this Rax has gone. Look at the melee. Iceberg. Let's get gone on a bit. He's going to pop the BKB, play it safe. Na'Vi again. Just being... making sure that there's no chance for slip-ups here.
Yeah, be very cautious. I was going to say the same thing. I'm like, oh, he probably could have pressed forward there, but with BKB down on Iceberg, I guess he's playing a little more careful.
And the sensibilities have worked so far for Na'Vi this game.
Yep.
They're just keeping both carries safe, not trying to push it further than necessary.
They've got neutral items to pick up now too. Yep. So they get the first, and they get a ninja gear. Gotta pass that to General, so he can always be smoked up in fights.
Viking. Goodbye. He's down for 80. We'll buy back straight away here. We'll see Shad. Who was he going for? Who was he trying to kill?
I think he tried to kill Always Wanna Fly with his Basher and his Manta on the hut, but he just gets used. And now they just lost.
Well, I mean, they might have. I mean, they probably lost anyway, considering how big V-Tune was, but just horning in to die like that. And now Aramis, he's trying to pull the creeps away.
He's got Laguna. No, he's not going to get to use it.
I mean, buys a little bit of a distraction, but yeah, that's suspected down for a minute. After, I mean, big zip from Boom. So he will catch one of the creep waves. But didn't catch them all. So they are still
have TP. We'll have to stay out here for about 20 seconds.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I mean, that's 20 seconds too long. This
he's gonna get the bounties. And they're gonna relocate to bring him back.
Oh, okay. Alright, so they'll be able to get him back. I mean, honestly, that's not actually gonna bring him back that much sooner than he would have been back anyway.
No, not much. Oh, they actually glyphed the wave too, so he's not even cutting it entirely.
And, no, they just dive it on Toby. They're going to get the tier 3, they're going to get the Parax. Toby's going to get forced to the side. There, I would save him. But V-Tune obviously able to easily jump straight back in with a Phantom Strike. Artillery popping the Ghost here, but he's been changed. They zip out. Boom, trying to play around with him. Shad's going to be up in a second. But V-Tune just picking up the triple. Boom. In onto Always Wanna Fly. Shad stepping in, but he's going to get roared immediately. They do get the kill with the Light Strike, where it's down onto the two of them. They turn with the Laguna. Shad's trying to back off, but he's been used up. V-Tune's picked up the Ultra Kill. Turnover was Shad. GG's going to be called as V-Tune. He's looking for it, and he's going to get it. Rampage there for V-Tune, as he really does have the perfect PA game. 20-0-6, hitting some of the fastest times we've seen, and I think Na'Vi with just some of the most sensible play we've seen from this team. Just never trying to push it too far. They played very safe and cautious, and it just worked out perfectly for V-Tune. He had a brilliant game, and as you sort of predicted, the draft from Viking just didn't really do much.